Hello everyone, this is Abhishek, IAS officer from 2020 batch. The intent of today's video is to understand how to go ahead with geography for prelims preparation. So we will discuss like what will be the sources, how to understand each source by one, what are the important topics that we have to look out for. So we will start with sources. So first of all, the several sources are available for geography, but the good thing is more or less in the limited sources we will be able to cover almost everything. Uh, However, there will always be some topics which will be associated with the current affairs that we have to cover separately while going through our current affair content. So first of all, the 11th geography and the 12th geography. So the geography for these two classes are the must. We will be I think any serious aspirant should cover these two geographies in detail, both of the books in detail. From 10th class we should cover only the selective part of geography, for example resources etc., which are not available in 11th or 12th. Then we have the GC Leong book. So GC Leong is one book which is very simple in itself. The language is even simpler than NCERT, but it's not the case that we have to cover everything from GC Leong. We should see कि whatever is not available in the 12th or the 11th books we can cover from GC Leong. And if you are comfortable with 11th or 12th, most of your concepts are clear anyway, then we can go for a highly selective reading from GC Leong. But since GC Leong is very easy to understand, the language itself is very smooth, most of the aspirants also prefer GC Leong. Then the supplementary guide for understanding some concepts which are given in NCERT but only in brief. So in that cases we have the Google and YouTube are always available. For example, cyclones etc. are there, which are very important for the exam perspective. But in in NCERT it's not given in complete detail. For a fresh aspirant it may take some time to understand the written content. So koi ek animation etc. if we go, it will make our work very easy. Then we have atlas. We can get any atlas, Oxford, Black Swan. It doesn't matter which atlas you pick, any of the atlas is sufficient. But take care that if you're buying new atlas, then take care for the latest version where the data etc. is updated. Andhra Telangana division is given, at least the most recent census is given. So because ultimately you may also be taking the help of atlas in understanding general issues also, like which grain is which crop is on where, like that in geography. So that way it's good. And to avoid, I'll suggest that the bulky optional books can be easily avoided. Most of the aspirants go for only for the above the 3-4 sources, and broadly these 3-4 sources cover almost everything for not only for the prelims perspective but also from mains perspective. However, there will be some requirements of more sources that we will discuss subsequently in the video. So how to study 10th, 11th and 12th. So each topic and each word are very important. Reason being, it looks like that some loose words may be given by the book. So if you find a keyword, just make sure that you at least understand what the keyword stands for. It's not the case that you have to know each and everything in detail about the keyword, but you should ensure that कि आपको पता लग गया है कि इस कीवर्ड का क्या मतलब है. 3-4 readings are at least necessary. If you think some of the topics are given in NCERT but very briefly, for example rivers etc. are given, but in one line they will say that this river crosses this river crosses this river. So it may not be easy for the aspirant to grasp everything in one go. In that case, my suggestion would be to prepare such topics separately. So one way of understanding such topics may be, for example, the supplementary guide videos by Rastanil madam can be referred. This is also a very comprehensive source which is available open source on YouTube. So I in fact went through these videos twice. I studied these videos. Once I studied just binge watched all the videos. Second time I tried to make some notes out of the videos. So these videos will cover almost everything. So if you have already studied geography from 11th 12th and some part from 10th, then by one time watching of these videos should be sufficient, as per my understanding. From GC Leong you can interlink the content, the climatic, the regions of the world. Thus the second part of GC Leong is beautifully given. For example, now we see that Mediterranean type of climate we understand in the climatic regions given in GC Leong. So in that case you can go ahead and understand that in Mediterranean this kind of climate is available, with that this kind of orchids are sown, are grown. So it's such kind of climate wherever it's available in India, the same orchids can be grown there also. So such kind of understanding, such kind of interlinking if you do, it will help us in understanding the broader geography of the world, and it will definitely come in handy when we will be appearing for mains. So then erosional and depositional, the part landform etc. is given also beautiful in GC Leong. So that part also we can cover. So the idea is NCERT is very very brief. Many times the concept is given in a very condensed nature, in a condensed format. In that case the suggestion would be that we should go ahead and try to Google it out, because many times we need further clarification also. Then how to study atlas. So first of all we need to buy any good school atlas. It may be Oxford, Black Swan, both are good atlases. We can also follow Google Earth, Google Maps if you are having any iPad etc., or any kind of another screen which you can use your pencil or any other electronic device to annotate or something. Then you can use your tab also, and keep focusing on the current events for understanding. For example, many times these days, for example, the Ukraine war is going, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So there is a high chance that some kind of question may come, which may not be directly associated to Ukraine, but it may come that it may be kind of spillover effect of Ukraine was seen in somewhere. The migrants from Ukraine went to some other nearby European city towns. Such kind of questions may be asked. So if we keep our eyes and our ears open in the preparation, and then whenever we see atlas, whenever we hear get to know about some new city and all, so we need to understand, okay, this is the geographical location, this is the place where war is going on, this is the place the migrants are moving, like that. So that way we need to understand that, okay, these are the current events, these are the important cities. Definitely we cannot cover everything all the time, but at least whatever is going on, whatever is there in your current affair booklets or whatever source you are following for current affairs, at least try to understand what is the geographical location of the city or town or river or water body. Then always go for quick mnemonics. In my preparation I have always understood that quick mnemonics are one of the best ways to understand, to remove doubts and to recall content while you are in the examination hall. For example, for global water bodies, now we have Red Sea, we have the Black Sea, we have Mediterranean Sea. All the seas are there. So from the person who is born brought up in India, that area may be kind of alien. So we may not be able to associate and understand each and every country around these water bodies. So in that case, just Google how to remember cities around, how to remember countries around Black Sea. So there will be one mnemonic you write down in your atlas or in a prominent place where you can, whenever you pick up your geography, you should be able to see, okay, this is the mnemonic. So that 5-6 mnemonics will solve most of your headache. It will make your life very very easy. Many people say that mnemonics make their life kind of understanding little even complex, that you have to remember the content also, the mnemonics also. But I do not conform to such idea. I believe that mnemonics are great memory tool. So this is how we can go ahead with atlas. This is this I have given only from the world location, cities etc. UPSC have many times have asked another relative questions. For example, arrange these cities when we go from Assam, or for example Nagaland to Tamil Nadu, in the shortest way, how many states we have to pass through. So such questions, you cannot prepare for all such questions, but one has to be street smart, and kind of one should know how to crack the question, how to eliminate the worst answers and go ahead at least eliminate two of the options, and then try to guess away the second the last third wrong answer also. such questions we cannot prepare in the, like directly during preparation, but some kind of like street smartness, common sense, knowledge, etc. A kind of a combination is required. When we talk about Indian geography, coming back to Indian geography, then we have river systems. So for river systems, I again find that apart from making maps, etc., practicing like the maps and everything, again mnemonics will come really handy. Now Ganga may have, the river Ganga may have lots of tributaries, so you may not be able to recall every tributary, you may not be able to keep everything on tips. So there are mnemonics available on internet. Several mnemonics are available. Just Google and find out left hand side tributaries of Ganga, right hand side tributaries of Ganga. You will find one mnemonic. Just cram it, revise it 2-3 times. At least use one of the like such mnemonics in the test series, and you will be able to recall the same into the examination also. And even if you are not able to recall the whole mnemonic, at least you will be able to eliminate one of the worst answers. And if we eliminate 2 answers, then our success ratio becomes only 50-50. Then some luck and some another like guesswork can definitely provide like the correct answer also. So but enough practice is also required. Just by knowing that these are the left, right, like tributaries of a river is only half work done. We should also understand that like what is the path, which river comes first, what are the prominent cities and towns which are based on the banks of a particular river. So such knowledge is also required. For that we may have to do a lot of map work also. At least twice, thrice if you do, it should be sufficient. Again, for maps etc., lots of videos have already been created and available free of cost, available and like kind of open resource on YouTube. One should go through at least one of such reliable source and understand. Rasnil ma'am, like on the Murnal YouTube handle, has, I think she has also provided the map work for almost everything, for rivers, mountains, plateaus and everything. One should not shy away in referring some good sources which are already available. Then same goes with monsoon, climate and cyclones. Monsoon in South Asia defines almost like the whole climatology of India, at least like the weather part of it. So one should go through it in very detail. What is the onset, what will be the like when the monsoon goes back, how which parts of the countries have the benefit of double monsoon, the ongoing, and like when the monsoon recedes, that benefit is also seen in some parts of the country like Tamil Nadu. So such things one should understand. Similarly, the climate, cyclones are also important because every year India is hit by cyclones, not like in the eastern coast and the western coast. So such cyclone is part of climatology also, but in India is specifically of importance because every like 2 to 3 years we are hitting one kind of a moderate size cyclone. Smaller cyclones come every year, and big cyclones also are like India is hit by big cyclones like Hudud and all, at least in a gap of 5 to 10 years. So cyclones, the types of cyclones we have, a temperate and we have tropical cyclone. All those cyclone, what is the difference? Go to Google, understand, make a big enough chart. This is like one of the most important parts. Forest. In forest, what are the types of forests and everything, which part is of India, like what kind of forest is found in which type of which area. Then the forest classification also, like many sources give like very broad classification, but some parts give, some sources give very kind of minute classification. Go by which has been given by NCERT. No need to go by very detailed classification. NCERT classification is more than enough. एग्रीकल्चर पैटर्न, कहाँ पे कौन सी खेती उगाई जाती है, कहाँ पे कौन सी खेती की जाती है, दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड द प्रेजेंट ट्रेंड्स एटसेट्रा, like it may ask. Some part of it is covered in current affairs, some part of it is covered in the NCERTs. In soil, minerals. In soil, which soil is deficit in which kind of minerals, which so for that there is a chart given in NCERT. That also you need to like cram by heart. No need to shy away from like cramming it. Make some mnemonics, make some contrast, and cram that chart. Then minerals, resource, etc., and what kind of minerals are found, it's given in 10th class NCERT. So you may refer to any video on YouTube, or you can go for 10th class NCERT also. This I have given some practice done. It's done on iPad. Like the map is downloaded and it was done on iPad. So you can just like take the map books are already available freely in the stationery shops. Take out and at least do some rough work. One time some such kind of fair work is required, and like before like examination, you just understand this is the river, this is left right, keep your mnemonics in your mind and just make it. There's a high chance that you will see at least one question on river every year. Now coming to the world geography part, earth structure and minerals. Here also there are some confusing terms, lithosphere, like the mental and everything. It's little complex. There are some one or two the conflicting issues are there. So just whenever you study the study, and wherever you find something which is like in little, you think it's like little off, you think that it should be this, but it's not that like that. So whenever you find the things a little off, that you just make note of it, highlight it, like mark it, put a star on it, write on the edge of your like the book, but just keep it separately, so whenever you read, whenever you revise, that this should come again in your mind. Earth, sun, movement, atmosphere. Last year there was a very basic question was asked on the movement of sun, movement of earth around sun, and it leads to like how the atmosphere, climate, etc. works, the layers of atmosphere, etc. are given. So such things are already given in the NCERT, but take care that you understand the nuances of it. You should not just have a cursory reading of it. Then climate, regions, primary wind system, one of the again most important part. Like if you NCERT is in black and white, Google a very beautiful color image of the wind system. Rastanil ma'am has made good videos on this, and you can refer to any other good source who like the source should explain the primary wind system. Then we have ocean currents and landform evolution. Ocean currents are also very important, and also from mains perspective, like because the whole ocean currents are, when we understand that what like moment of water and moment of winds, they are the like major kind of current systems which impact our atmosphere, our climate, weather and everything. So ocean currents and wind currents both are very important. So for that, the ocean currents, take a map, at least you should understand what are the hot currents, cold currents and everything. And landforms and evolution, it is given in NCERT also, in GC Leong also. In GC Leong, it is been given in very like kind of much detailed information is given. Go by NCERT. No need to cram all the words and terms given in GC Leong. When you do NCERT, at least you should know that what kind of landforms are created by movement of water, by rain, by wind, and by glacial movement, by ocean like current movement and everything. So at least you should know that इस चीज़ की वजह से ये वाला लैंडफॉर्म बनता है, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए मिनिमम. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सम कंसेप्ट्स एंड especially the landform made by the movement of water and river are very important in this area. Then in the last I will talk about some miscellaneous things. For last day revision, we need to make a list of items. Another notebook should be made where we list out some items which we are going to study in the last day, 1 day or 2 days before the examination. So for that, not only for geography, I would suggest for everything, like because once we are into the system, we understand that you will be going through test series also. You must have gone through previous question papers also. You know what are your weak points, and for all those things we must have a last day revision checklist, or at least for last 2-3 days, which you are going to cover, which we are going to study like just before the examination. So in that you can put rivers, you can put, if you think the wind system is little kind of confusing to you, put wind system and the terms, at least the list of landforms and like kind of land made by erosion and everything. Such kind of items can be put. In other subjects like polity, etc., you can have your own set of items that you are going to revise. That is a like really good kind of technique, and it helps us to understand, help us to kind of keep track of things. जो छूटा है, जो last में बच जाता है, in the last day we can revise. Never shy away from Google and like YouTubing. What happens many times, like all the good people, many of the like serious aspirants, they will pick a like pencil and they will start reading NCERT line by line, but they will not take their eyes off and like at least Google and understand what's there. So one time if you do that activity, then it's enough. Next time when you do, just whatever you study, you write on the edge of the book or write on a paper and just like stick it in between your sheets in the pages of the book. Then always contrast and compare at the time of studying. Many times we will be finding like several ideas, several similar looking topics, but we just read them separately. We do not go back and contrast, and because this is how our mind works, it works in contrast and comparison manner. For example, uh, whoever has studied geography, they must have seen the continental for example continent formation. So I am giving this example in the last just to tell that how we should be able to kind of create contrast, how we should understand, like use small mnemonic tricks while understanding or while the preparation. For example, in continent formation, the three scientists' name are very famous: Alfred Wegener, Arthur Holmes, and Hess. So when we are studying, like for those who don't know all these scientists have tried to explain how our continents are formed in the present shape, how Asia and Africa, how the Americas, etc., have formed in the on the earth, which are in today's shape. So इनमें से Alfred Wegener came first, or Arthur Holmes came first, or Hess came first. It's quite confusing for students. So what I did, I just make mental note that Alfred Wegener, okay, Alfred is the old fellow who always stays with Batman. Okay, so Batman is the new guy, Alfred is the old fellow. Okay, so I had just made a mental note that Alfred Wegener is the oldest guy who first said that continents are like in such a manner that they should be like, if we just take the like all the shapes of continent, it looks that they should be together. So you are the first person who kind of gave the theory that continents might have drifted from each other. So the first person in that chronology becomes this guy. Then I understand, okay, now Alfred Wegener gave some theory, then Holmes came. Holmes suggested some new evidences. So who does that? I know Sherlock Holmes. So okay, Sherlock Holmes was the guy who said that okay, what you are saying may be correct, but what your reasons you have given, what are the like kind of reasoning you have provided, it's not correct. It has to be upgraded. So Holmes came and gave the like new reasoning. Then after that, Hess also came. Now I understand HESSSEA. So Hess gave seafloor spreading theory. So I just made a mental note that Hess is associated with seafloor spreading theory, which also kind of explains what Alfred Wegener has said in the beginning, and Hess gave a new reasoning to it. So this is how I move ahead in every subject. This is how I work now also, that whenever we think there are two things which may look confusing to us in the beginning, just I can guarantee that they will stay confusing until unless we create a clear contrast and comparison between those two concepts. So this is my final kind of tip to all the aspirants. So this is how we should go ahead with geography. Geography is one of the most subject in the whole preparation, GS paper 1 in the mains and in our prelims also, and otherwise also, like by knowing geography we are able to kind of understand how how generally lots of the present geopolitical ideas, how presently our economies etc. is impacted basically by geography. So otherwise also it's a beautiful subject. So this is all from my side. I wish all of you best of luck, and I wish all of you great success in the upcoming examination. Thank you.